Since my listeners and audience sort of know me a little bit, I was wondering if we could scoot back over and take another look at my chart and see if there's anything interesting worth noting in terms of, I'm an entrepreneur, podcast host, coaching people, writing books. What can you sort of discern from the chart that might be helpful?
Well, even so coming down from your ajna, you have a channel 11 to 56, which is going from your ajna to your throat. So
sorry, what is ajna?
Ajna is the mind. So ajna is the red triangle that's green triangle right up at the top. First is your head center or your crown, which is, you have it completely open. And then underneath that is the green kind of arrow pointing down, and that's your ajna. And so you have a channel 11 going down to your throat, which is the brown box underneath that. So that's the channel of, you would really be somebody who is a storyteller, and you teach through that. You teach through telling stories. It's not you have this kind of creative capability of, instead of just providing information in a way that's boring, you can really kind of entertain people with it and make it exciting and fun. And so that's just something that you should be diving into as a person, and really, as you said, you write. So it's just kind of finding ways to not just deliver the information, but delivering it in a way that's entertaining and exciting for the listener or the reader. You in your profile, you're a 2-4. So really there's that fourth line is, like I said, all of your kind of connections and opportunities a lot of them are going to come to you through your network. But the 2 line is the hermit. And so the hermit has this tendency to just want to shy away and be alone. And so there's kind of a push and pull that's always going to exist within you of wanting to, I can't decide if I want to go out and be with people or just be alone and be a complete hermit. And so for you, it's knowing you get to be both. You don't force yourself down one path. That is just part of your personality, both of those. So, tap into your sacral. And when you feel like it's a hell yes, I want to go do this thing, then go out but don't force yourself.
So the way that shows up is I always arrive late to parties. So I'm like a hermit for the first half of a party. Then I arrive late and leave early.
And you know what? That's what works. That's what works. But yeah, and 2-4s also have this very can have a very childlike energy, a really fun, playful energy about them too. But just, knowing that push and pull is always going to be there. So you don't have to pick one. You get to be both. Looking at your chart as well, you are a specific manifester. So what that means is when you're trying to manifest something, you want to get down to the nitty gritty. Don't be afraid to write in detail if there's an exact number that you want, or if you guys were looking for a new home, for example, you can be I want that house right there. When that house goes on for sale one day, we're moving into that. So you can be that specific. Or, I want this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms. I want an east facing bay window. I want, you can get down to that, those details. And so even when you're trying to manifest new coaching clients, who do you want to be, who do you want to be calling in? You can get super specific on that as you're asking the universe. And yeah, you have this completely open crown, that's where inspiration and insight come in. So, you'd be super open to inspiration kind of coming in from anywhere. And, but then all of that's going to go right into your mind, which is super active. And, it's kind of one of those brains that doesn't necessarily shut off. So I would say you don't have to turn every single idea into something. I think there can sometimes be a pressure with the ajna to be okay, we got to make this into and you have this defined throat too, that's going right down to okay, I need to express it. I want to share it with people. But knowing that, yeah, you don't have to turn every lofty concept and idea into something. So take that pressure off of yourself. For anybody that has a defined ajna, I would say meditate. is a great meditation is a great practice. I mean, it's a great practice for everybody, but with a defined ajna, it's a great practice because it can really kind of disconnect you from your active mind and just give you a little bit of peace for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely, what you're saying earlier about people are like, saying like, yes, oh, you see me, or like, that's me. Definitely, I've always been that type of person that I learned something and I just can't wait to share it and tell stories about it. So
yeah.
Amazing.
And yeah, that's what I would say. And for you, it's just like your sacral authority. So really tap into that sacral and let your desires lead you.
And I'm imagining there's sort of learning what that feels like, and sort of a vocabulary, or honing how good you are at listening to that and understanding like what it's telling you.
For anybody that's like, I don't really know, like, okay, because so the sacral, guys, is the red square at the near the bottom of your chart. And so if that's colored in for you and you don't quite know what that feels like, I'd say ask yourself or have somebody ask you 100 yes or no questions, or this or that, like, and you can just start with small things. What, like, do I want to cook dinner tonight, or do I want to get takeout? Do I want to go for a run? Do I want to stretch? Go for a walk?
So a big game of would you rather.
Totally. Yeah. And then but then as you're playing, pay attention to how you feel. Because the sacral doesn't know the difference between you saying like, hey, like, is it time for me to quit my 9 to 5 and really go all in on my side hustle, or should I get Italian or sushi? Doesn't know the difference between those, right? Our human body and our human mind makes there such a heavy weight to that. But when you can really tap into your body, you'll know what feels like the yes or the no, and you'll know what path feels right. And I think knowing for any authority that your mind is so loud and it's always going to come in and try to deter you. Your mind is going to be the analytical, logical person that's going to come in and rain on the parade. Like I was looking for a privacy fence for my balcony, and I went to Home Depot. This is during COVID, because I found a like bamboo fence online. So I drove there. It took me 25 minutes to drive there. I waited 20 minutes in line. I got my cart when I finally got in, and I saw the fence, and I was like, And my mind was like, oh, no. Do you want this done or not? We drove all the way here. You said you like, we've waited in line. You said you wanted it. Let's do it. Like, do you want this done or not? And then sacral was like, So I like walked away. I'm like, okay, let's give 10 minutes. Let's come back with fresh eyes. Came back with fresh eyes, and the same thing happened. My sacral was like, And so knowing that I'm a sacral authority, I knew, okay, that's my mind coming to rain on the parade. But truly my gut, my sacral is saying, and I just like, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. So I left. I didn't take it. And on the drive home, just it kind of popped into my head of like, ooh, what if I looked at like a room divider that was wooden, kind of like, I just got a vision for what it could be. I ended up finding that. And now I look at it every day and I'm like, I love it. And I didn't settle for the, and I think we can tend to settle for so many things like that in life. But when you can start to shift out of making decisions like that, and just know that like, yeah, I wanted to get that done that day, but like, it didn't have to be done that day. It could wait another week. And now I'm so lit up and so satisfied when I see it. And so, yeah, just for any authority though, just know that the mind is going to pop in and try and rain on your parade.
I love how you said the mind is not the answer.
Yeah.
And I think probably our society is constantly telling us, just rationally think it through and make the best choice based on the pros and cons.
Yeah, analyze it.
Yeah, analyze it.
Yeah, and that's just a part of what we call it unsexy work at Align by Design. But the unsexy work or the deconditioning, it's rewiring your brain to tap out of there and really tap into your body and tap into how your body's communicating with you.